What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever it is, wherever you are. Welcome to Damien After Dark. I'm glad you're here joining me. We're going to be recapping part one of the Baddies Caribbean reunion. So if you're here for it, like I hope you are, you've come to the right place. Now, before we begin, if you've never been here before, or you have never subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and click that subscribe button right below this video. Also, you'll see the thumbs up button down there as well. Like this video, that helps me get into the YouTube algorithm, okay? Thank you guys so much for doing that. Also, join the conversation and let your voice be heard. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on the reunion. Let me know what you guys thought. So join the conversation below. Last but not least, if you would like to join the Damien After Dark movement and help us grow and sustain this channel, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate, all right? Thank you guys so much for liking the video, sharing, supporting, commenting, donating, all that. I really appreciate you, and I love you from the bottom of my cold heart, okay? I've missed you guys. I've missed you guys. I'm glad to be back here at my desk. I'm glad to be back home. I had to flee the hurricane. Prayers, blessings, you know, healing energy, positive vibes to anybody in the Florida area, anybody that's in the path of Hurricane Milton that's going on right now. I mean, unless you're living under a rock, then you probably know what's going on here in the United States. I know we got some international viewers as well. So for those that are not in the United States, maybe you don't know, but there is a Category 3, possibly what, Category 5, they said, hurricane that has hit Florida. A lot of my videos here lately have been late. I have been posting a lot of these videos Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I apologize for that. And a lot of you know I have been talking about it. I have been going back and forth to Florida a lot here recently. The last few months I've been going once or twice a month. So my videos have been late, and I apologize for that. I was there this week, and I was supposed to come home Wednesday, and I had to come back Tuesday because I was worried that they were going to close the airports and I was not going to be able to make it back home. And I needed to get back home because I had other priorities to do, right? I had these videos to do. I have my job to do. I have things that had to be taken care of. So I had to get back. So I'm back. Thankfully, I hope that the hurricane hasn't done too much damage. Hopefully no one has lost their, lives. I know there's been a few, unfortunately. One life lost is too many. But if you're in that area, I'm sending you my well wishes, okay? And hopefully, if anybody's in that area or anybody's going through something, you can watch this video and it can help you get through it. Oh, and I saw my shirt just now in the screen. It reminded me. I was in Florida. I was in Miami for a few reasons. One was to attend the Nikki show. Now, y'all know I've been to a few Nikki shows. I went to see her in Nashville. I went to see her in Birmingham a few weeks ago. Now I just went to see her in Miami again. She's wrapping her show up. She's wrapping her tour up, and I went to one of the last shows, and this is the shirt I got. Tell me this is not cute AF. Nicki Minaj. It says, "You can't be me. I'm already it." Now, if you know, you know. You can't be me, I'm already it. I've been saucy, they all want a skinny dip. I am your label's obsession, use another guinea pig. Top of every list, including your man's bucket. Don't get me started, bitch. And here's the back. Hold on, let me give y'all a little something, something. Can y'all see that? Got all the tour dates. So if you missed that, you really missed a good show. Okay, now let's get into what we're here for, which is the reunion. Okay. So we see everyone arriving, coming to their trailers, of course. Everybody's pulling up in their black SUVs, getting out, walking into their trailer. First scene we see is Natalie in her trailer smoking a joint. Bobby comes in there and joins her. They do a little chit chat, little pre reunion talk. Natalie says that she's expecting apologies from Tommy and Diamond. We'll see if that happens. I doubt it. Bobby mentions that Diamond versus Taseki is probably one of the number one beefs that the fans are looking forward to. One of the number one beefs that have been most talked about beef online, most anticipated fight at the reunion. We all saw what happened to Diamond's face. We all saw how that worked out for DTB, right? Now, they also mentioned that this is the first ever live audience. So we see that for the first time ever in Zeus history, they're doing a live audience, which I think, when I heard that, in my opinion, I thought that was just going to add to the chaos. I didn't think we needed a live audience, but maybe not. We saw in part one, it didn't really add to much of the chaos. I don't care. Like, it is what it is with the audience. How do y'all feel about that? To me, it is what it is. I don't care for an audience. Like, whether they do it or they don't, I don't care. But I do feel like in the future that could add to chaos. Somebody says something in the audience, people throw shit. Fights happen. I just feel like it's not. Y'all know what I'm saying. Shit. Without me having to say it, you know what I'm saying. Now, we get a little moment with Animac, Biggie, and Taseki in a room. Like, I think a lot of fans really like this trio between these girls. I've never understood it. I've never understood the interest around Animac, Taseki, and Biggie. Um, Taseki's not interesting. She's just known for fighting. Biggie does not even know who she is. Right? She's so insecure and has been bullied her whole life. She tries to fit in with everybody. And Automac, do I need to go in on Automac? We already know how we feel about Automac over here. So the trio of those girls does not give for me like Zeus wants it to give. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Do y'all like the Biggie, Automac, Taseki trio? Now, notice everybody is glammed up. Everybody's glammed up in their wigs and their cute outfits and whatnot. And I'm just like, why? Y'all are going to rip the shit off. Wigs are going to get ripped off. Earrings are going to come off. Clothes are going to get torn off. I would have came in like, we saw, who was it? Two of the replacements came in dressed, ready to fight. And that's probably how I would have been. Because, I mean, what's the point of getting dolled up if you're going to get the shit tore the fuck right off, right? Now, I almost forgot about the other replacements. We see Heaven Marina. We see J.O. We see Wendley. I really forgot Wendley was on the show. Y'all remember old Wendley? I forget she was even there. Heaven Marina was robbed of a position. And she even acknowledges that during this episode. Heaven says, y'all fucked up, talking about Zeus. Fans, she says, y'all fucked up. The fans spoke and they said that they wanted me there. And I agree. I know I said it back when she was on the show and they let her go. I remember reading some of you guys' comments where a lot of you said that you wished Heaven Marina should have stayed. Like, the fact that they let some of these other girls stay that was dry as fuck, and you had like these big personalities like Heaven Marina that seemed authentic. Heaven didn't seem like she was putting on for the camera. She seemed like that's who she was. Girl with the tattoos, crazy, rah, rah, rah. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like she was robbed of her position. And I feel like they should have given her a shot on Baddies Midwest. Now, we noticed that Beetlejuice has switched up her look on us. Y'all know who I'm talking about when I say Beetlejuice. I'm referring to Gretchen. Gretchen has switched up her long black look, Beetlejuice look, and now she's got the long, excuse me, Jesus, that sun drop got me burping. Now she had this long ginger look, 42-inch ginger buzz now. Now, take a shot during the reunion every time Gretchen says the N-word. I'll take a puff. How about that? I'll take a puff. If you drink, take a shot. Every time Gretchen says that. Now, speaking of looks, because we're gonna be dissecting. Oops, we're gonna be dissecting some of these reunion looks throughout this piece here. So let's get into Callie's look. Now, I didn't feel Callie's look. Now, I would put. This is gonna sound really lazy, you guys, and I'm so sorry. I would put the pictures up here of what they were wearing. But if I do, it's going to take me even longer to put this video out. It's going to take the video even longer to upload because of all the edits. So hopefully you watched the reunion before you come here. I know a lot of y'all don't watch the reunion, okay? I know a lot of y'all don't watch the episodes when you come here for the recap. And I apologize for my lazy producing and I apologize for my lazy editing. But maybe when I can make YouTube my full-time job one day, I'll start putting even more into it. But y'all, it's a lot doing these videos. I'm telling you, it's a lot with the edit. The filming's not even that much. It's the editing and the uploading. But I didn't care for Callie's look. I want to know how y'all felt about Callie's look. Now, Callie had on this like orange. It looked like a those dresses that they wear over in Latin America when they do the little flamenco dances. Y'all know when they wear those dresses that are like really long like this, and y'all know what I'm talking about. She was wearing something like that. It was like it was orange, right? This orange flamenco looking Latin style dress, and then she had like a purple bob with white streaks in it, and I'm just like, huh? Who styled her? Did she have a stylist? Did Callie pull this together last minute? I wasn't here for it. And if you're going to do, here's the thing with colored hair and colored wigs, if you're going to do one of these bright colors, a fuchsia, a neon green, an orange, a purple, a pink. You got to be able to pull it off. Nobody can just slap on a colored wig on their head or just dye their hair any color. You've got to be able to pull it off. And when I say that, I mean you've got to have the face to pull it off. You've got to have the outfit. Everything's got to go together to make that colored hair work. Because if it doesn't, it clashes and it just looks like a big color. You know what I mean? This looks like to me, it looks like somebody just got paint and splotched. It just doesn't mesh to me. And this is one of those looks with Callie that I feel like it did not mesh. And you could have done better, my love. I thought Nunu looked cute. It gave more dinner to me, like she was going out to dinner or the club, than it did something reunion-y. But she looked better than Callie, in my opinion. Now let's get into the host, because of course Janisha is hosting. But also, anytime Janisha hosts, she's got to have a sidekick because they've got to have somebody there to pump the energy up of the host. Because Janisha as a host by herself, let's face it, we're not even gonna go there, but we know Janisha is just a pretty face. That's it. Janisha is a beautiful girl, and that's all I'm going to give her. I'm sure she is so sweet and kind. But when it comes to hosting, and she's gotten a little better over the years, but Janisha's not the host that I need for Baddies, right? So they always bring in a guest host to help just energize that little hosting position a little bit. So the host we have for this season is Saucy Santana. We know we had Nene Leakes last season. This season we have Saucy Santana. Now, Janisha, I love you, but you sitting in Saucy Santana's face lying to him like that, talking about, you look good. You look good. You look good. Like, girl. 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 I didn't like that look, y'all. I didn't like Saucy's ensemble. It wasn't saucy to me, okay? I feel like if Saucy, and look, bitch, I'm not the fashion police. This is my opinion. This is my YouTube channel, and I'm just telling you what these blue eyes see, okay? I feel like if Saucy had the right stylist, he could really pull off that feminine, masculine look that he's going for. Because I don't like what he was wearing. What do y'all think about that? I feel like it made him look really like, broad, boxy. I feel like it wasn't flattering for his shape. And I love Saucy Santana. I love his music. I love his personality. I love how transparent and authentic and honest he is with himself. So it's nothing personal towards him. Now, another thing that I really liked was the reunion set. I really thought that for the first time ever, their reunion set really reflected their budget, really reflected the success of the show and the network. I trash the network a lot, and it's for good reason. For good reason. I really go down on them a lot for the things that they say and do, but I have to give them their props when it's time to give them their props. And this reunion set was immaculate. It was beautiful. It gave Caribbean vibes. It gave beachy vibes. I love how big it was. It was like a big open set. Um, the production value was definitely, stepped up. Shit, the amount of money y'all make off of us, it ought to been a beautiful set like that. The fuck, it was the stage, the set was very much giving. Y'all know how they do on the Love and Hip Hop reunions and the Housewife reunions, how big and grand those sets are. That's what it was giving. And they had two big couches. They had two big long couches, and then they had like 20 chairs behind each couch because there's so many cast members. I mean, you have to. Um, One second, you guys. I'm responding to a text message. Let's see. Oh, another positive thing that Zeus did. Zeus has been listening to us here lately. They've been listening to the fan feedback because one of the things that we have said as fans is that we do not want an entire one part, two parts of the reunion to be the girls in the trailer talking about the season. We want to see them on stage, right? Because every season, part one of the reunion would be them in their trailers talking. And we would be like, let's get to the meat of the matter. So finally, they've listened, and we got like maybe 5 minutes of trailer talk, and we went straight into the reunion, which is what we wanted. So I'm glad that they're listening to our feedback. Finally, okay? Now, Janisha is announcing all the girls, each girl one by one. Please welcome Natalie Nunn. Please welcome Scotty. And when she says, please welcome Scotty, did y'all peep? Because when it comes to Janisha and Scotty interaction, I'm always watching. When it comes to Anna Mac and Scotty, or Anna Mac and Janisha interaction, I'm always watching because we know that Scotty and Anna Mac are the alleged mistresses of the CEO, Lemon Pepper, um, and that Janisha was the main girlfriend. So I'm curious to see what their mannerisms are like towards one another, their body language. I'm trying to read that. And if you notice when Janisha announced Scotty, Janisha don't like that hoe. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. But if you notice, when Scotty came out, she walked out. She didn't go up and hug Saucy. She didn't go up and hug Janisha. She didn't say, hey, how are you? She just sat right down next to Natalie and said, hey, and hugged Natalie, and that was it. She couldn't hug Saucy Santana because if she went up to hug Saucy, she would have to hug Janisha without it looking like an obvious snub, right? If she would have hugged Saucy and went over there and sat down, it would have looked like an obvious fuck you to Janisha. And it would have made her look like this obvious mistress that she allegedly obviously is. um, and then, if you also notice, when she said, please welcome Scotty. Scotty walks out and says, and don't forget with the body. And she's wearing this super short mini skirt. Her ass is hanging out. I mean, cheeks just hanging out. She said, don't forget, Scott, it's Scotty with the body, right? Just kind of rubbing it in Janisha's face a little bit more that like, bitch, I got your man and I got the body to the body that came with it, not sold separately. Pretty much I took your light bulb head man, sis. That's what it was giving me. I mean, they didn't have to say much because the body language and the little subtle shots were giving it all. And this, speaking of looks and Scotty, this was not one of her best looks either. I don't know what happened with these girls with the reunion, but they dropped the bag when it came to the looks. I'm trying to think of who I thought had the best look. What do I have to say, Jayla? And I have to say I like Biggie's get up, and I might be a little biased because I know the guy who styled Biggie. So I like the little get up that he put onto her. But that's sad when I'm saying Jayla and Biggie were probably some of the better dressed ones there. Yikes. But yeah, Scotty's got this like black bob. She's wearing this black bob, very tight bob, with these stockings on and this pink jacket. It was very much given like a goth look, almost not really goth, okay, because that's not really goth what she had on, but it was leaning more towards a darker goth look than anything. Um, Goth Barbie, I don't know. I can't explain really what it was, but I was not. She couldn't pull it off. I feel like certain people could have pulled that look off, but it just didn't translate well for Scotty. So I thought Sapphire looked somewhat cute as far as what she had on, but her and this whole notebook and pen thing is played out. She's been doing this for 10 plus episodes now, just carrying around this prop, this notebook, and this huge pen, saying that she's taking notes of what everybody says so she can cross-reference later when they lie and whatnot. And it was funny and it was cute at first, but I'm like, all right now, sis, we're getting ready to roll into the next season. I'm gonna need you to leave that in season 5, okay? Now, did we expect anything less from Meatball? Meatball come out in this Panama Jack swim top. Y'all know who Panama Jack is, right? Panama Jack is like the brand that you can get in Walmart. You can really get anywhere. And there's nothing wrong with getting Panama Jack, because let me tell you, I got some Panama Jack from Walmart too. Here it is. I got Panama Jack as well from Walmart. Look at this. Y'all see? And this is not a promotion. We are not promoting Panama Jack over here. This is not an ad. They do not pay us, so don't go out and buy no motherfucking Panama Jack off the influence of Damieon. Okay, don't go buy it. Even though I love my Panama Jack hat, but I just want to bring this out to show like this is like it's a nice little brand. But my thing is like, Meatball, what is going on, sis? Did you just wake up that morning, roll out of bed like you always do, run down to the local Walmart because you realized, oh shit, I need an outfit for the reunion? You grabbed that Panama Jack swim top off the rack, threw it on, ran to the studio? Like, what is happening? Did you not get a stylist? Did Zeus not give you a stylist? Could you not afford one? I know that reunion check was nice and fat. I know you made at least 5 figures on that reunion check. So what's tea, sis? Now, Saucy brings up to Jayla, you know, Jayla, you had a problem with Gretchen saying the N word on the season, and, he brings up that there's a contradiction with her having a problem with Gretchen saying the N word because she says that, or Saucy says that Mariah Lynn actually said the N word on her season of Love and Hip Hop, and nobody checked her, but everyone was checking Gretchen. And that's actually a great point that a lot of the fans, including some of my subscribers here, you guys have actually brought up, that, oh, Mariah Lynn says the N-word, nobody checked her. Biggie has said it. Lots of these other girls have said it, and nobody checks them. Now, I was really curious to hear Jayla's response to that. Because if you notice, Jayla looked at Mariah Lynn and she said, you know what? Yeah, you're right about Mariah Lynn saying the N-word, because she also said the N-word in New York in the back of a van. And Mariah was like, it was a Bentley. And I'm like, wait a minute, I want to hear more of this. Now, Janisha cut the conversation off. She did that a few times in the reunion, and this is why I don't think she's a good host, because they were starting to get into good conversation, and she starts cutting it off like, "Oh, we'll talk about that we'll talk about that later. Put a pin in it, ladies. We'll talk about that in a little bit." Like, no, I wanted to hear what Jayla was saying. She was addressing Mariah Lynn for saying the N-word apparently recently in the back of a van, or as Mariah says, a Bentley. Like that makes it any better, Mariah. You are a white Puerto Rican girl. You have no business saying the N word. Period. It's like, and then my thing is, why did y'all even let Saucy ask that question if you're gonna cut it off, Janisha? Now let's talk about Bianca versus Mariah. While we're on this Mariah thing, it's so funny to watch back the footage from episode 1 when Bianca comes in and runs up on Sapphire and says that, she's here for Mariah, and her and Mariah are hugging and they're portraying that they're just such best friends. It's funny to watch that and then see where their friendship ended up. They were never really friends, right? Because how do you come on the show like that and then end the way that you do? Bianca says at the reunion that she only came on the show for Mariah, that Mariah wanted her to audition for Baddies East because she said that she felt ganged up on the show and she needed support. She says that Mariah also hit her up while she was filming Baddies Caribbean and asked her to come on the show then too as well, because she felt a way about what was happening in Jamaica and she felt some type of way about Sapphire. So Bianca is saying, oh, I came on this show all for my friend. And you see what happened to me? I came on this show all to defend Mariah. Yeah, I came on the show to get a bag too, but I really came on here to defend my friend Mariah. Now come on, Bianca. Do you really think we're that slow? You tried to slide in there. Oh, yeah, I came in here for a bag, but I really came in here for more. Girl, please. You are out here on every network trying to be on every reality show. We've seen you on Now That's TV. We've seen you on Love and Hip Hop. Now you're on Baddies. Quit acting like the sole motherfucking reason you came on this motherfucking show was to play Captain Save-A-Ho and save your motherfucking friend. That was not the reason. That was a good excuse for you to be introduced and put onto the show. That's the reason that you and Zeus Network tried to sell to us why and how you were there. But let's be real. You came on this show because, like you said, the bag. The money's the number one reason. You're not going to turn down 5 figures. And number two, this is going to help your career. This is going to boost you 50,000 plus Instagram followers. This is going to put your name out there. This is going to help you and Mariah's career. And this is going to put you on another show. Let's call it like the fuck it is. You're going to get up here and try to parade and stunt on us like you came on this show to save Mariah? Are you kidding me? How dumb do you think we are, Bianca? And for that reason, that's why I'm glad you're not coming back to Maddie's. That's the reason why I'm glad that you were not brought back and casted for Baddies Midwest, because you're a fraud. You got on that stage and fucking lied like that and thought we were really going to believe it, girl? Bah. No. We see Mariah, she gets up out of her seat at one point and she's in the middle of the stage talking, doing her thing. And Bianca gets up and she runs up and she clocks Mariah, right? Mariah stay getting clocked. You would think after a few times of getting knocked upside the head, Mariah would keep her head on a swivel and stay ready. You know what I'm saying? And then of course Mariah does her typical Mariah shtick, which is get these motherfucking cameras out of my face. She wants the veins to pop out of her head. She wants us to think that she's this scary thug OG that, we should be intimidated by her, that she's this little white girl from the Bronx that'll do anything like her. Like, girl, we're not. Stop with the get the cameras out my motherfucking face. She's embarrassed because she's got ketchup on her face. Y'all know what the ketchup is, BLOOD. Her eyebrow look like it's gushed open. She got a black eye. Baby Bianca got that ass, okay? You look a mess, Mariah. You looked a mess. The way Bianca did you on that stage like a rag doll, you looked a mess. I mean, this is why I'm saying you shouldn't have got all cute and dolled up. They done ripped your wig off. You got a black eye, gushed eyebrow. The audience had your wig at one point twirling around saying, whoop that hoe, whoop that bitch. I mean, and then instead of just getting back out there on stage and finishing the job, Mariah is pissed at production. She's threatening production. If y'all don't get these cameras out my fucking face, y'all won't get another season, and you won't get another blah 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 blah. And it's like, girl, who the fuck do you think you are? First of all, let's get something real clear, Mariah. Who do you think you are? Kim Kardashian? Talking about you won't get another season like you've been on this show for 20 seasons and they're going to guarantee ask you back for season 21. Girl, another season? You done lost it. You done let the bleach from them wigs get to your brain, sis. The bleach has went to your head. Another season, Mariah? This is your last season, boo. And we know that for a fancy fact because the Baddies Midwest cast has been revealed. If you haven't checked out that video, it's on my channel. You can go see who the official cast is for season 6. And Mariah Lynn is not there. And if you know, we've been talked about that. We've been talked about it multiple times that Mariah Lynn was contracted for 2 seasons. They didn't want her back after Baddies Caribbean because her performance was terrible. I'm sorry, Baddies East. They didn't want her back from Baddies East because the fan reception was terrible. The fans did not want her. The fans did not like her, did not want to watch her. And Zeus was like, oh shit. We locked her in for 2 seasons because we thought the fans were going to love her. So Mariah came back for Baddies Caribbean. This is all true tea. One of the cast members already exposed this tea. So Mariah was brought back for Baddies Caribbean because she had signed that 2-year contract. As soon as that 2 years was up, they let Mariah's ass go. While she talking about, I won't be back for another season. And truth be told, Mariah probably knew that she wasn't coming back for another season, so she's trying to spin it. Like, I'm not coming back for another season if y'all don't get these cameras out my... You're not that big of a star, Mariah. You've been on TV multiple times on multiple shows, and you've had multiple opportunities to let your light shine and show us why you're a star. And the light is very dull. Better yet, the light's not even on, my love. It's very dark in that room up there. We can't see. It's nothing shining to me. Bow out gracefully and move on. It's just baffling to me the way this girl sits up here like she runs shit and like she's some fan favorite that she holds, and like the way she thinks she holds a leverage over whether or not she comes back next season. You have no leverage. You would be blessed and lucky. You would have a better chance of winning the lottery, Mariah Lynn, than you would coming back on the show next season, okay? Maybe in a few seasons, but definitely not Midwest. Now, Bianca, if you also notice, she mentions that her and Mariah have had beef in the past, and that she actually forgave Mariah for allegedly fucking her ex-baby daddy. Bianca said it, not me. Allegedly, Mariah fucked on her baby daddy, her ex. And then she says that Remy Ma and Cardi B brought them back together. You know, they love to name drop the girls. They love, especially Cardi B. These loving hip hop girls like Bianca and Mariah and them, they love to name drop. Oh, well, Cardi B did. Cardi called me and said, Cardi ain't studying, y'all. She is not studying y'all dust bunnies. She left her loving hip hop days alone a long time ago. Cardi B up here like this looking down at y'all like, yeah, y'all still down there, you pulling wigs and shit? Okay. Now, Janisha brings up to Natalie her beef, her issue with Callie that we saw play out at the beginning of the season. And Callie explains, or they say that, you know, Natalie, how'd you feel about Callie claiming that she's coming to take the HBIC's spot? How did you feel about that? And Natalie claims that, you know, during casting, when they were casting for the new season and Callie's name got brought up, Natalie says that she was rooting for Callie and like, yeah, bring her on. And if you watch and listen to Natalie when she explains that, And if you've watched and listened to Natalie over the course of her 15-year career on TV, it's very easy to tell when Natalie was lying. And I knew she was lying no matter how she spun it, no matter how her body language was, because Natalie was like, trying to say that she pretty much was advocating for Callie to be on Baddies Caribbean, and we all know that's a bold-faced lie. I told y'all months ago, back when this cast was announced, back when the show was airing, that Natalie never wanted Callie on the show. Never wanted her there. However, Zeus, the CEO, the executives, the ones who really own this show, the ones who are really the boss of Baddies, they overruled Natalie's decision and they said, look, you don't want Callie there, but we're bringing Callie there. They wanted Callie there because who she's attached to. Blueface and Carlissa. Blueface and Carlissa bring clout and clicks. They want Callie there because she's attached to that. Okay? Now, Callie even knew that was BS as well. She even said and told Natalie, that's complete bullshit. You know you didn't want me there. You know all y'all were talking shit about me being there. So the fact that Natalie gets on stage and tries to spin that, oh, I wanted you there. And like, Natalie, quit the fake Hollywood bullshit. Um, Now, we got a scene in the moment with Natalie and Biggie. Biggie expressed her frustration with Natalie this season and how she felt like Natalie would pick on her and would laugh at her. We know that she had an issue with Natalie and Jayla going on live and laughing at her. And Natalie actually apologizes to Biggie for laughing at her on live with Jayla, and she acknowledges that, she says, I understand that as a boss, I shouldn't be participating in online banter, online conversation, polls, anything regarding the show because of my position as an executive producer and you girls' boss. Which, I mean, she is right in a way. If you're going to be a cast member and a producer, there has to be this fine line, and you've got to be able to teeter the two, be able to balance the two, not show so much favoritism, because it does look like Natalie has her favorites, as she does. Jayla and Scotty and Rolly, those are her girls she keeps close to her. And then she doesn't like the Biggie. She doesn't really care for Taseki, but Taseki's there because she can fight and she can eat, and that's Krishan's sister, so she tolerates Taseki. She don't care for Anna Mac. You can tell Natalie don't, but she knows that Anna Mac's allegedly sucking and fucking on the boss, so she can't really do much about it. So Anna Mac is stuck there. You know what I'm saying? And then who else am I missing? Anna Mac, Taseki, Biggie. Yeah, there you go. That's the ones that she kind of treats like that. Um, Now, meanwhile, while Natalie and Biggie are apologizing and they're having this kumbaya moment, Jayla's not here for it. I think Jayla was tired of sitting behind the couch and not saying nothing with her legs crossed, and Jayla realized, oh, I need to spice this shit up. We need a good banger for the outro of part one. We need something spicy, right? So Jayla starts going in on Biggie. And she was like, no, this bitch said she was going to slap me. This bitch says she was going to slap me, da 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 da, blah, blah, blah. And Biggie says, and I did. And I did. And Natalie says, and Jayla says, and I fucked your ass up too. I fucked you up, ho. And that's the thing, Biggie. You talk all that shit like that, but then if Jayla were to fight you, like she said she would right there, you don't want that smoke. You run that mouth, but you don't want that smoke. So that's why I don't feel sorry for you when they smack a wig off your head like they do. You never come in humble. Like, and some would say she did in that scene with Jayla, that she was coming in humble, but I don't think she did. I think she was backpedaling and pussy popping, talking about, oh, because Jayla addresses with her. Jayla says one of her problems with Biggie is that she gets on YouTube with that big teddy bear that she calls Teddy, and she talks shit. And she does. Y'all actually pointed that out to me 2 seasons ago. Hey, Damien, go look at Biggie's YouTube page. She sits on there talking shit all day, but don't have this smoke on the show. So I went and I tuned in, and as y'all said, she does. She gets up there, she has all this commentary and all these things to say about the girls on her YouTube show, but then when she's on the show actually filming, she doesn't say these things to their face. And that was Jayla's issue with Biggie. Now, Biggie is talking about, well, we already squashed that, Jayla. We already talked about that, Jayla. And Jayla says, no, we didn't. No, we didn't. And Biggie says, yeah, we did, because I told y'all, yeah, I apologize, but I'm going to always pop my shit and talk my shit on my YouTube channel. Now, It seemed like Natalie and Scotty and the rest of the girls were kind of like on Biggie's side in that moment because they were like, Jayla, she's apologizing. Jayla, Jayla. But Jayla's like, no, bitch. No. This hoe said this. This hoe said this, right? And I really don't even think it was that big of a deal to Jayla. I think that Jayla knows how the game works and she was thinking, everybody's getting along too well up here. Let me set some shit off. Let me go in on Biggie a little bit. I really do. I think she thought I need my moment. I can't sit up here and I can't keep my legs crossed and say nothing for the entire part one. I got to do something, right? And I'm not blaming her for that because it didn't come off fake. It didn't come off inorganic or inauthentic. It didn't come off like she was trying to fake some beef. It came off like she was really upset about the Biggie stuff still. Um, because she can't sit up there and just keep her mouth shut. Now, I love me some Saucy Santana for this very reason right here, because I would have been just like him in this moment. He started calling out the girls, and when I talk about the girls, I'm talking about Biggie, right? Did y'all notice how Bobby, when Jayla and Biggie are arguing, Bobby gets the crowd hype, and he tells the crowd, you know, he puts in big letters on his phone, fight, fight, fight. Chant the words fight. So the crowd is telling Biggie and Jayla, fight, 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 right? So they ask Jayla, do you want to run the fade with Biggie? And she's like, I'm not going to fight nobody that don't want me to fight them because it was obvious that Biggie did not want to fight Jayla. And Saucy says, well, do you want to run the fade or not? Because if you don't want to run the fade with her, she definitely, he's talking about Biggie, he said she definitely needs to run the fade with a few more people because she jumped in on a few fights this season. She was definitely fighting everybody else. And I'm like, clock it, Saucy. See, that's why we need a host like Saucy. Saucy is invested in the show and he watches. Nene, as much as I love Nene, she didn't really watch the show like that. Nene glazed through a few episodes and she was like, okay, give me the cue cards and let me, what you want me to ask? Okay, say that again. Saucy's in it, okay? He's in it. He's been watching every season like we have. He knows that Biggie is a punk, and he knows if you've watched every season, you know how Biggie works. She don't ever get to nobody face to face and say, bitch, let's fight. Biggie waits until other people are fighting, and then she jumps in and she'll sneak you and swing and hit you and then step back. And that's what Saucy is referring to. Jayla, if you don't want to fight Biggie, I'm sure there's a few more girls that want to fight her after they watch this season and seen her sneak her. We saw in the season finale when Kiva was fighting Anna Mac. Or, I mean, DTB. When Kiva was fighting DTB, we saw Biggie run up and sneak her on that one. So what's T? What's T, Biggie? What's T, Bendejo? Make sure you understand that one, don't you? Now, Jayla approaches, we already talked about that. Janisha announces the next girl to come out, and she says, please welcome Tommy. And we see a backstage moment of Tommy about to walk out, but Bobby is right there. Bobby is right there, and he's talking to Tommy, and he says, we're bringing Tommy out on the stage. Come on, Tommy, they need you. They need you out on the stage right now. And Tommy is not having it. Tommy is pissed. She's going off on Bobby for some reason, and she's upset, and she says, get this fucking extra on. Get this motherfucking extra out of here. Referring to Bobby. Calling Bobby an extra now. Now, I don't know why Tommy was so upset. But whatever she was mad about, she felt the urge to hit Bobby. Y'all noticed that, right? If you didn't watch the reunion, Tommy literally starts punching Bobby. And I'm talking about sucker punching him. Sucker punching him, all because he was trying to help her get onto the stage, okay? Now, if he would have clocked her back, if he would have balled his fist up and knocked her back in the face, it would have been, oh, these gay men think they can hit women. When is the line drawn? When is the line drawn? And listen, here's the thing. Is Bobby's job to be the producer and wrangle the talent? No. There is a talent producer for that job. There's a talent coordinator. There's a specific person for that job. So that's problem number one. Numero uno problema. Okay. Where was the producer to wrangle the talent? And why was Bobby doing it? So that was number one. Number two, it may not have been Bobby's job, but I feel like he was doing more help than harm, right? What was wrong with him saying that they needed you on stage, Tommy? Now, Bobby was doing a lot between hyping up the crowd, talking on the microphone to the different girls that were coming out on stage, backstage trying to help Tommy, and it just seemed like he was doing a lot to where I'm like, Bobby, where's all this energy coming from? Hmm? Because I'm sensing that you just might have allegedly done a bump before you went out on stage because you're everywhere. And it's like, baby girl, sit down, just chill. Like, there's a time and place for you to pull your mic out and for you to speak and for you to do your job. You want to be everywhere at the same time doing something, being seen. Speaking of doing bumps, I mean, it make me wonder, was Tommy as well? And look, y'all, I'm not trying to accuse nobody of being on nothing, but when you act erratically like this, it makes me wonder, like, what's tea? What's going on? Because normal people don't act like this, okay? You know, she was literally sucker punching this man. And he was doing nothing. He was taking it like, okay, 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 what? She keeps saying, stop playing with me, bro. I promise you, bro. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. All that fake shit. I'm not with it, bro. I'm not. It's like, Tommy, what the fuck is the issue? Other than Bobby's telling you to come outside or come on stage. Because she's like, I'm not a fucking trick and pony show, bro. It's like, girl, calm down. Like, damn, she's causing problems per usual. And to be honest, I don't see how the girl works. I don't see how she has a career in television and media. How do you have a job when you're that difficult to work with? And the gag is the woman is in her 40s. You're 40 years old plus, and you act this way. This is how some 20-year-olds act. Early 20. I know more mature 20-year-olds than you, Tommy. You can't always get what you want. You're always throwing these tantrums. Like, girl, let it go. It's giving an alleged coke rant because we see her come out on stage and she's just ranting and going off and with a cup in her hand, blah 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 blah. Just I was like, it's like, is she drunk? Maybe she's just really drunk and just going off. Maybe it's a coke rant. Maybe it's both. I don't know. But what shocked me was that her and Natalie actually hugged one another. You know, she was greeting everybody, hey, and then her and Natalie hugged. And they seemed to move past their issues, which we all know that probably won't last long. Um, Now, while Tommy was ranting, did y'all notice how Biggie was talking to Natalie and she said, you got your ass out, Natalie? Because Natalie, just like Scotty, is wearing this super short skirt with her ass cheeks just hanging out at the bottom, like they're at the beach or something. But Biggie says, you got your ass out, Natalie? You got your ass out? Ew. Biggie wants the Nat Cat. I'm telling y'all, Biggie wants that Nat Cat. Hashtag Nat Cat. Now the last two girls we see come out are Slim Too Bad and Tinkerbella. Now Slim Too Bad and Tinkerbella, they come out in fighting gear, obviously, you know. Wife beater, shorts, tennis shoes. Slim had on this robe that looked like she was Mike Tyson. Looked like she was motherfucking, bitch, Rocky Balboa. I don't know who she thought she was, okay? But I'm just like, Slim, baby. You really thought you ate with this motherfucking robe on and the 3 episodes that you were on this show. Okay, girl, whatever. Now, as soon as they come out, Meatball runs up on Tink. And Meatball's ready to fight. They immediately start fighting. So I'm just like, okay, automatically they've never resolved their beef. This TV show really showed Pork Chop's true colors, and it exposed this beef between Tinkerbella and Meatball. And they really, for the first time on this show, on camera, get into a physical fight. And at one point, Tinkerbella threw some cup of liquid substance onto Meatball and soaked her ass because she was covered in liquid. Now, as I'm watching Tinkerbella versus Meatball, I keep noticing Scotty. Scotty finds any little reason during part 1 of the reunion. She's finding any little reason to like prance across the stage with her ass hanging out, and like she'll like bend, like she's like poking her ass. Like it's almost like she is flaunting herself in front of Janisha. It's almost like she's trying to torture Janisha. Like, look at me, look at this ass, look at what your boyfriend, your ex, look at what I took from you, look at what he's getting every night. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it was really giving off a poor taste, poor vibes. I didn't like it. Like, Scotty, I thought you were better than that, but I should have known better because to me, you've shown nothing more than. To me, Scotty, you've shown nothing more than you would sell your cat for a Happy Meal at the local McDonald's down the street. Like, it don't take much for you, baby. A man could tell you that you're pretty and give you a Happy Meal, fuck you, and you would think he loved you. So, I'm not surprised that you're doing this. Because Janisha seems to remain professional throughout the whole reunion with you, but you seem to like try to take pow 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 little shots every chance you get. Did anybody else feel that way? Now, after or as Tinkerbella and Meatball are having their little fight, they're going back and forth. We see Slim run up. Slim runs up, and now she wants to fight Meatball, right? I guess this is her audition for Baddies Midwest, since she didn't get a shot on Baddies Caribbean that she really wanted. I don't know. But Meatball really can't fight because I knew Slim Too Bad couldn't fight after we saw her on Baddies Caribbean this season. So when I watched Slim fight Meatball and Meatball wasn't whooping her ass, I'm like, damn, Meatball really can't fight. Like a lot of people think she can. I think a lot of people perceive Meatball as a good fighter because she's a bigger girl, but she really can't. And then after Slim, Jayla steps up, and I'm like, damn, three girls back to back fighting Pork Chop. I gotta give that to Pork Chop. She stood it up. She stood in the paint, and she, unlike Anna Mac, and she went round for round with each of these girls. The only one that I really feel like did anything to her was Jayla. I think Jayla got a good little lick on her at first. Her and Jayla didn't fight long, but I feel like Jayla got a good little lick on her. You know, Meatball's really taking all the hits at the first part reunion. And next week, we see chairs being used. And I don't mean just a chair lifted up. Somebody got hit with the chair. Somebody allegedly had a seizure, what it looked like on the screen. They were being carried away, and they were saying they were having a seizure. I mean, it looks wild next episode. We see the infamous fight between Diamond the Body and Taseki goes down next week. We see Anna Mac versus Nunu is going to go down next week. You want to make sure you're subscribed because we're going to be talking about it all right here on the Damien After Dark channel. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and get subscribed. We also will be recapping The Young and Reckless on Now That's TV, as well as Jocelyn's Cabaret. Make sure you're locked in. Click that thumbs up button as well and like this video. That helps me get into the YouTube algorithm so more people like yourself can find me and we can continue to grow the channel over here, okay? Get in the comment section and join the conversation below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on the reunion. What did you guys think about part one of the reunion? How did you feel? Do you like the live audience? Who do you think won with those rounds between Meatball versus Scotty? I mean, Meatball versus Jayla, Meatball versus Tinkerbella, Meatball versus Slim Too Bad? I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions. Get in the comment section below. If you want to donate to the Damien After Dark movement, also, in the description box down there, you will find ways that you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle. Thank you guys for your support. I love you so, so, so very much. And we'll see you next time on Damien After Dark.